to help people with that. One spin.
Hey, Dwayne, I got an idea. Why don't you pass a bill that requires them to take two off the books, two laws off the books for everyone they pass? Maybe we can go backwards. How many laws are out there?
Idaho cut 20 or 30% of their regulation, I think it was. And guess what? People prosecute.
So, how many people know about the hazard map? Y'all know about it? Okay. When did you find out about it?
Christmas night fair, about a year ago, we were doing all this.
Well, most people found out about it when they got a letter from ODF.
Yeah.
Wasn't that nice?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't we have some elected officials warning us? That's what I wondered. So anyway, I was looking at that when it was IP 83. This is before it became a law. Where did it come from? Well, actually, it started with a little committee to study wildfires caused by power lines. So that little committee worked on that. They came up with a 110-page report. And lo and behold, Jeff Golden and Pam Marsh got involved, and they took that little committee and that 110-page report, and through the gut and stuff process, they just gutted that and they stuck what they wanted in it, and you have Senate Bill 762, which in my personal opinion is an outright attack on private property rights, especially us in rural Oregon. So here you are, and I did this because I said, this map looks strange because I've studied maps all my life. So I went and got a map of the wildfire risk map, then I got a map of the Forest Service and BLM land. And I brought them side by side, and lo and behold, they match. So what they told us, and all of this legislation is, if you live in proximity of federally controlled lands, you're in danger of wildfire. Duh, we all knew that. We all knew that, didn't we know that? So this whole thing is just, what I see is an attack on private property rights. You got 3 days to make your comments. 3 days. And you know what? We don't have enough comments in there. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. We're not squeaking enough. It's to sit down at the computer and send them an email. It's simple. And I was just working on mine today because I want to make a good one because I'm sick and tired of this thing. This is going to be detrimental. If your house burns down and you live in rural Josephine County, chances are you will not be able to rebuild. That's how bad this law is. And you're going to have to pay, because there's fines associated with this, you're going to have to pay a fee. They call it a fee, but actually it's a fine if you don't harden your home. And what that means is, anytime you touch any kind of remodel, it's going to have to be hardened home, which means fireproof walls, fireproof roof, and no new construction in the rural area that's not fireproof to their standards. That really ought to help our housing shortage, huh? What do you think?
They dropped my insurance.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that one. They had a Zoom meeting when they first did this, and at that first Zoom meeting, there was about 2,000 people on it. And I attended that Zoom meeting, however you attended the Zoom meeting, and Jeff Golden was on there at that time. And the question came up, people's insurance rates are going up because of this. And he says, we worked on this for 3 years. We never even considered insurance. My God, here you are in your legislation, you're making this law that's going to hurt people, and you never even considered the insurance cost on people's insurance? I'll tell you what's happening. In California, people can't sell their homes because nobody wants to insure the loans. You know what California did? Most insurance companies pulled out of those hot areas in California. Lloyd's of London even pulled out. You know what California did? They went into the homeowners insurance business, the fire insurance business. Hello, Oregon. That's what they're getting ready to do. They're getting ready to go into creating a pool of high hazard. That's the whole process behind this. The government loves to take your money. And that's what this is going to be. If you're going to get insurance, you're going to live in a rural part of Oregon, where you're in a hazard or a WUI. I love all these terms. But you're going to have to get insurance from the state. That's where it's going. And that's unfortunate. Competition always benefits the consumers. There's no competition when the government controls it. So this thing is going to be detrimental for the long-term housing shortages. And my thing for the last 35 years has been property rights. Because I firmly believe that all our freedom and all of our liberty stems from our right to own property and control property. You know, how many of you know about the Bundy fight they had down in Nevada? Yeah. Okay. Now, 30 years before that, Wayne Hague fought the same issue in Nevada about the same thing. But he finally won after he died. His kids won in court of claims. Did him a lot of good. But he made a very profound statement that I want you all to take this home and put this in your pocket. He said, if you don't have the right to own property and control property, you are property. That's where we're headed in America. The one thing that makes America unique over most of the world is our right to private property. You know, there's no clear title in most countries in the world to property. We're one of the free countries in the world that have a title to our property. So I'm going to beg you guys to get on your computers. Richard Inman put a great email out about this. It's got all the links on it. Go get, if you get, how many of you get Richard's emails? You should, if you don't get them, you should all sign up for them. But on there, if you go to ODF, just go punch in ODF, you'll come to the Department of Forestry's webpage. Scroll down, they'll have a hazard map link. There you can get the link to send them an email. Please send them an email. Okay? So it's very important that we comment on this. This thing is, I call it horrible legislation. This is absolutely horrible because the one question I've asked from the very beginning is, how does putting the burden of hardening your home and defensible space on the private property owners, how does that reduce wildfires? When we all know 90% of these wildfires start on federally controlled land. But there's nothing in this legislation that demands any requirement from the federal agencies. Nothing. There's nothing. The thing here's the other thing. It grows state government by at least 25%. It grows state government by 25%. Now who do you think is going to pay for that? We're all paying for that through taxes. So it's important that you comment. Here's the thing that's really unknown at this stage in time. You gotta understand we're administrative rule state. So the legislature will make a law, they'll give those to agencies that are required to implement the law, and this will morph into thousands of pages of regulations. Thousands of pages of regulations. So we have no idea what this is gonna end up looking like. But one thing we know, before they passed this law, ODF was only allowed to charge you $25 per tax lot for fire protection in rural areas. That was all done away with. Now there's no limit. The sky's the limit. ODF can charge you whatever they want. That ceiling on that price was taken off. We have no idea what this is going to cost us. So please make your comments. It's a very important thing. It's easy to do. ODF webpage, go to the link on hazard map, and send them some fire. Tell them you're opposed to this thing. I told them in my first time, I was opposed to the whole process that this thing came about because it stinks. It was horrible. Anyway, please make your comments. Thank you.